Well, here it is, the last week in April of 2025, and I'm finally getting out on my first motorcycle trip of this new year. Now, we've had some pretty up and down weather during spring so far, but it finally looks like things are going to turn around and we're going to have weather in the 60s and 70s for this 4-day trip to the Catskills. So here I am out on the first ride of the 2025 riding season. My buddy Kevin and I, there he is over there, we're on our way out to the Catskills in New York. We're going to spend 4 days out there. Then we're going to go to the Woodstock Museum in Bethel, New York. If you've never been there, it's pretty cool. Kevin hasn't been there. And go and roll around on the field, the original site of the Woodstock concert in 1968, right? Or 69? 69, sorry. So we're looking forward to it. Just going to have a good time getting used to being on the bike again. After finishing our first coffee stop, we got back on the bikes. We headed out across Connecticut, back into Massachusetts, and eventually across the New York line. Now, right up front, let me tell you that this trip was plagued with a few little challenges. If you watch my pre-ride video, you know that my Garmin Zumo XT, my GPS unit, well, it just decided to stop working. Well, a couple of days before going on this trip. So I had to quickly hurry to replace that with a Zumo XT2, which I luckily got mounted in pretty quick order. Now, of course, that new unit doesn't work exactly the same way as the old one does, so we had some challenges with the GPX files that I had created for this trip, but we figured it out. While we had a beautiful ride going across Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New York, we did have one little issue that caused us to kind of shake our heads and go, huh? Because, see, we came upon a detour, a construction area that said that Route 23 going across the Hudson was going to be closed up ahead. Well, we went and were expecting to follow the detour signs, but they weren't very clear at all where we were supposed to go. So the road continued to be open and we continued to travel forward. But eventually we ran into an area where, yep, the road was blocked about 1,500 feet ahead. So there was a little store there, a restaurant actually. So we pulled in there and walked in and go, hey, can you help us? How do you get around this detour? The signage is like really bad. And the girl that I asked said, yeah, it's pretty bad. We're getting a lot of people coming in here asking the same questions. So she told us this little easy way to get around the block. And of course, we took that and made our way to lunch, which was at the Chief Martindale Diner. The Chief Martindale Diner, or the Martindale Chief Diner, it goes by both names, was built originally back in 1958, and it still retains that 1950s, 1960s diner vibe. It was originally part of a 4-diner chain along the Teutonic Parkway, and 3 of those diners still exist today. I stopped at this diner several times on my trips out to the Catskills, and I have to say, the food is always good. After crossing the Hudson, we again made our way down the beautiful back roads that crisscross the Catskills. The last part of the day was particularly amazing as we went down Oliveria Road, West Branch Road, Frost Valley Road, Claryville Road onto Route 55 across the Neversink Reservoir and into Liberty, New York. That would be our home for the next few days. Now, looking around the area, I decided to go to Liberty, New York because it was close to the Bethel Woods Museum that we wanted to visit the next day. So the only hotel in town was really the Days Inn, and we didn't really expect a whole lot, just a cheap place to stay. But when we walked into our room, oh my God, it just reeked of cigarette smoke. Now, in New York, you're not supposed to smoke in any hotel room, but obviously that rule was being ignored. After returning to the front desk, well, they moved us up to the second floor, which turned out that the room was pretty decent, even with the clutter in the hallway. The morning coffee, however, it had to be killed with a healthy dose of cream before it was palatable, and they had the strangest dining room chairs I have ever seen. Fortunately for us, just down the street is another great little diner, and that is the Liberty Diner, where you'll find great food, friendly service, and some very colorful locals. I came very close to trying that Fruity Pebbles cake they had, but I resisted. Returning back from breakfast, well, that's when the fun began.
So, I guess I should be filming at least some of this. We got out this morning. We had a great breakfast down at the diner. And then we came out, and Kevin's Pan America here has a dead battery. So we're trying to figure out what to do. He's on the horn with the Harley dealership. We're either going to have to jump this, get it to the Harley dealership, or they're going to come here, hopefully, and swap out the battery on it. So we'll see. I have one word for you, Kevin.
What's that?
Honda.
Trade in, 2 words.
All right, so not too bad. Just about an hour wait, and the guy's here to pick up Kevin's bike. 26 miles to the dealership, so we'll run down there and get this thing fixed, hopefully. All right, got it loaded, so I'm gonna gear up and I'll follow them to the dealership. Hopefully Kevin's not riding bitch on the way back. Hopefully we can get it fixed.
Just to show that Kevin is not the only one with issues here, as I was following the truck and trailer, I realized I had left my key and, of course, the fob for my bike in the lock of one of my panniers. Then, after retrieving my fob, I realized that I had parked on a slope and couldn't easily get my kickstand back up. So I moved the bike up to a more level piece of ground. And of course, going through all of this meant that Kevin and his bike were well down the road, which meant I had to pull over and put the dealer in my GPS. Now, of course, I was able to easily catch up with them and ended up getting to the dealer at the same time Kevin, his bike, and the driver arrived. So Kevin's bike and we ended up at O'Toole's Harley Davidson in Wurtsboro, New York, and they apparently have their Halloween or Christmas decorations still up. All kidding aside, the folks at O'Toole's Harley Davidson were fantastic. We just had a little while to wait before a lift cleared up, so we kicked around the showroom. Kevin even bought me a t-shirt and tried to introduce me to my next motorcycle.
Well, I have to tell you, so far we're here at O'Toole Harley Davidson, and they're just absolutely amazing, right? They gave us money to buy a drink. They're getting us lunch while we wait on Kevin's Pan America to be fixed. So they're awesome.
Outstanding.
The bike did finally make it on a lift, and after seeing where the battery is located, I understand why Kevin didn't want to try to change it ourselves.
So Kevin, how long have we been here at the shop?
3.25 hours.
Okay. And I have to say, they're doing an awesome job. They're just going above and beyond. But we have been here for a while, so I don't think there'll be a museum today.
No museum. Maybe a nap.
Yeah, that's right. Nap and dinner later on.
This will all be up on YouTube.
Special thanks to Mike and Julie, who went above and beyond in taking care of Kevin. Unfortunately, this wasn't the last we'd see of O'Toole's Harley Davidson. Just down the street, Kevin informs me that his check engine light has come on. So we quickly made a U-turn and headed back.
So we've been here for about 4 hours, and they got the bike all done. And then we're heading out down the road, and Kevin's check engine light came on. So we're back here, seeing what it is. The mechanic's got it up on the stand. We're gonna go through. He couldn't find any faults, just looking at the bike. So we'll see.
Now, luckily, it turned out that it was just an old fault code that needed to be cleared. So they did that rather quickly, and we were back on our way, headed to the hotel. To make things easier on ourselves, we just headed back to the diner.
While we're standing out here by the bikes, covering them up, give everybody your rundown of the events of today. How'd you make it through?
That was pretty good for me, actually. So we got here, figured we'd leave to go to the museum probably around 9:30.
Something like that, yeah.
Had plenty of time. Uncover the bikes, we get out here. Craig's doing his, I turn mine on, suspension lowers, press the starter, nothing. So I'd been watching that anyways because of the fob charging thing that I had. And it was dead. We tried pushing it down the hill to start it, locked the back wheel. That didn't work. And that bike there, the battery's in the front. It's a horror show. Anyways, we started looking up Harley dealerships. Found one. They referred us to another one. Best Harley dealer I've ever had. Yeah. Small dealership. Great people. Driver was here in about an hour. Got us there. They put us on the lift, and although it took them a few hours, we were in and out of there probably 3.5, maybe.
Well, by the time we got back here was 5 hours.
Yeah, technically we weren't on the road, but we were doing something for about 8 hours. But they gave us quarters for the machine to get Coca-Cola.
They did.
They asked us, hey, you want to go get lunch? And we figured that was just them blowing us off, telling us to get out of the shop for a while. We didn't. They asked us on the third time, they said, we're buying you lunch. And they went out and got us a great lunch.
They did, yeah. They were very nice. O'Toole's Harley Davidson in somewhere in New York. I can't remember the name of the town. I don't think I could pronounce it anyway.
Yeah, they had a great service manager, but probably one of the best general managers I've ever seen.
Yeah, yeah, she was great.
She was just absolutely phenomenal, and I'll post something up later on too. But O'Toole's Harley Davidson, thumbs up.
Yeah, they did a great job. Got the bike fixed. A little shocking for Kevin, but, but they got it fixed, so we're going to go to the museum tomorrow. Right?
Yep. We're doing well. All right. See you guys.